Scenes from the Screen, the film-focused show for all ages where we cover movies that flicker to life on screens both big and small. You'll find everything from comedy to horror, cult classics to major studio franchises, big budget to independent, theater releases, streaming premieres, and everything in between. Stick around and you might discover a new gem or be reintroduced to an old forgotten favorite. My name is Sean, and I'll be your host. All right, well, today we're here with Jason. Jason, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, your love of movies, whatever you want to fill everyone in on.
So I do love movies. Conveniently, I'm wearing a shirt that I speak fluent movie quotes.
I have the same, well, yeah, it's not the same shirt, but, you know, not like we trade off or anything.
In fact, I was waiting for you to make a comment when I walked in.
I know, I forgot about it, but yeah.
Yep, I'm a movie junkie. And like Sean, we talk to each other almost in a separate language of, oh, that reminds me. And you just fire off a quote, and of course the other person's automatically going to know it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you hope so. Most people don't. Most people kind of stare at you like.
And if the person doesn't, they look at you like you have three heads.
Well, right. Yeah. But like the first time I think we got started talking was a line from Fish Called Wanda. So that was, and that's a line I use that nobody has ever gotten. So that was really impressive. But today we're going to do a more modern film. So we're going to do something from this year. It is Mike and Nick and Alice. And Jason, I'm going to read something to you because you tell me if this kind of sums up the movie overall for you. This is the IMDb description of the film. Two friends navigate the dangerous world of organized crime, testing their loyalty and survival skills as they get deeper into the criminal underworld. Is that really an accurate description? Because
for like half the movie.
Right.
There's a big other part of the movie they are completely glossing over.
Exactly. And it's really the selling point of the film, which is time travel. I mean, it's not going to be, it's not really a spoiler alert. That happens early on in the film.
Right.
That's what the whole film was based on. So I don't understand why when I saw that, I actually kind of laughed. I'm like, well, I've got to run this by you because I thought it was very weird. But
not to mention the title, when I heard that, sounds like some weird love triangle, like it's going to be some boring dramedy. I'm like, I don't know if I want to watch this. It sounds like a modern take on this dude loves this girl, and this dude also loves this other dude.
Right.
There's a truth going on here. I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, there was a 70s movie, I think it was 70s, Bob and Carol, Ted and Alice, which is that kind of thing. It was like swapping. I mean, I've never seen it, but that's one probably on the list. But yeah, I mean, but I only knew about it because I saw Vince Vaughn on Good Morning America. And they're like, oh, he has a new movie coming. I'm like, okay, cool. That's awesome. And I probably forgot about it. I mean, I saw some highlights, didn't really know too much what it was about. They said, yeah, he comes back as himself. And I'm like, okay, cool. Until my wife mentioned it. And then she said that, oh, there's a movie on Hulu with Vince Vaughn. I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, let's watch it. So, yeah, it's Mike and Nick and Alice. And it is from this year. It's strictly streaming on Hulu. So if you have Hulu, you'll see it on there. So one of the first things that really impressed me about it, the first person you see is I love Ben Schwartz.
Yes.
In Parks and Rec and almost anything he does, he's fantastic. Another person I saw in there I really like, Keith David.
Oh, yes.
You put Keith David in the movie, you're selling me already, man. Right. Keith David can do no wrong in any film.
Yes.
I mean, in The Thing and Something About Marriage, just anything. They live. He's just been fantastic. So
Men at Work, an underrated movie.
What's that?
Men at Work.
Which I've never seen. I know. We're hitting on something that I don't know why. It was something I missed back in those days. But yeah, that's one I know you mentioned several times. But yeah, I'll definitely add that to my list of thousands I haven't seen. So, I'm a sucker for a time travel movie. So you give me a time travel movie and man, I'm a happy guy. This one, it was okay. I don't know how you felt about it.
Time travel, pardon the pun, but there's almost limitless possibilities there,
right,
of what you can do with it. So on the surface, it's fun, it's entertaining. But if you spend any amount of time thinking about, is this possible? Is this plausible?
Logistics, right?
You quickly go down a hole, and then it's going to ruin every movie you've ever heard of or seen involving time travel. Because, at least to me, I don't really think it's possible. And some of the liberties they take with things that happen, and I don't want to get too far into this movie yet about that. I'm like, come on. So I try not to get wrapped around that.
Right. Yeah, and it's like I said, it was, I mean, basically it's a simple plot. He steps into a time travel machine that Ben Schwartz's character has created. He is a friend of Alice's, and Alice is actually played by Elza Gonzalez, I believe.
Isa?
It might be Isa Gonzalez. Yeah. I can't read. My eyes are bad. I think it is Isa Gonzalez. I apologize, Isa, if you happen to be listening to this. She's great in it. I mean, here's one thing that really I almost didn't like. I admit I'm not a big James Marsden fan. So when
I like him when he does comedy.
And that's the selling point for me because he was fantastic in this.
Yes.
I mean, he was, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I've seen him in Westworld and, X-Men, he was all right as Cyclops, but, this movie, I really think his gift is comedy, which I don't think they give him enough. It's almost like Alec Baldwin way back when, because you're a good looking guy. They don't, he can't, he's just got to do straightforward dramas or action film. Man, and Alec Baldwin's fantastic in comedies, and James Marsden, I think, is too. So give him other chances, Hollywood.
I think the movie Death at a Funeral, I think, was the movie he was in. It was a funeral, African-American family, and he was dating one of the daughters, and he got on drugs or something. He was hilarious in that movie. He was like naked up on a roof. At this, I
think I've seen short pieces of that too, but I never wanted to stick around because I didn't want to see it I had to see it from the beginning. So
hilarious.
Yeah, that's I believe a remake. Is that Peter Dinklage?
Yes.
Too. Okay. Yeah. But so I love Vince Vaughn too, but I have to admit in this movie he looked tired.
Yes.
Like he looked, and it wasn't his character's thing. I mean, maybe like the future him,
right?
But when he comes back to like the current day, the whole premise is he steps in a time machine in the future. He comes back to basically kind of save himself from doing something, which would result in James Marsden's death. Mm-hmm. So again, not really a spoiler, right? Because that's again at the beginning of the film.
Right.
So the whole thing is him kind of kidnapping himself from the past to save it, whatever. No, actually the present, because he's from the future. So he comes back, that's his past.
Yeah, the way the movie started out, and then Marsden going to the door, having been sent by Vince Vaughn, goes to the door, and Vince Vaughn greets him at the door. I was like, oh, this just took a turn.
Right. Yeah, and it was hilarious. And there's one line that James Marsden did, and I had to rewind it. I was laughing so hard where, he's talking to the future Vince Vaughn character and Nick. Yeah. But he's talking to Nick, and he said that he's like, well, I don't remember you telling me this. He's like, yeah, you told me. And he just goes into he does his words exactly. And the way he delivered those was hysterical. I'm like, God, this guy's great. He's great at that. Maybe I misjudged, again, James Marsden, but yeah, Vaughn looked like he was going through the motions in this, which is.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't know. I mean, because it was such a meaty role for him. He's basically playing himself, but two different variations of it. So
right.
He could have had fun with the other one, like the future self.
Right.
Maybe even toying with the former self.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just didn't see a whole lot of range there.
No. And I was really disappointed in that because I guess I love Vince Vaughn and everything. So maybe that's just that movie. Maybe the director didn't coax it out of him. The movie kind of reminded me in a way, and without the time travel, of a watered down Lucky Number 11 for some reason, which I love. I haven't seen that since it came out, but right, it's never anywhere.
Yes.
But yeah, Lucky Number 11 is fantastic, and it's basically about the navigating of the whole crime world thing, which that applies to that movie wholly. But yeah, like I said, it was the thing I like about it. I know you and I have discussed about this, which is why I don't really see movies at the theater too much anymore, is because they're too long.
Yeah.
But this was under 2 hours.
Yes.
This is doable. Now, would I go to the theater to see this? No.
Right.
Because it's not. Back in the day, I probably would have. But now it's it's
certainly not if the trailers that they put out ahead of time were like that synopsis on IMDb.
Right.
No, that's not interesting.
Another average film that comes out, which it basically is anyway. But it's still, like I said, you have some great performances. Keith David is like the mob boss. Again, Marsden, Isaac Gonzalez. Jimmy Tatro is great as Jimmy Boy.
He was awesome.
He's got that distinct voice, that he was. I think he was in Modern Family for a couple episodes.
Oh yes, he was. Yeah,
he was one of Haley's boyfriends. But the cast is great. Stephen Root is, Dolph Lundgren. There's just tons of people in this movie. And again, it's not like that's like it totally fails, but
yeah,
there's nothing that special about it.
No, And then I started getting, because I wasn't engaged at all times. I like when he was testing the theory, and he stabbed himself.
Right.
And then the future self suddenly has a scar. Instantly scar. I'm like, there's no way that happens. Right. No. Stop it.
Yeah. That's one theory of time travel. You do the Back to the Future, you do this, you do that. So there's a lot of different theories about it. And it's always interesting to see what they come up with. But here's a couple things that bother me about the movie too. There's one is, and I thought it was maybe something. Well, first I thought, okay, he's just using this to effect. Was a slow motion effect. And then it happened again. And then it happened again. And then it happened like 6 or 7 times. I'm like, is this something wrong with the TV? Because why is there was even one of a cat wagging its tail that was slow motion.
Yes.
Why? Is it padding? You didn't have enough. Maybe that's it. But I don't know if that bothered you as much as it did me. It really irritated me.
I can't say it stuck out, but now that you're bringing it up, yeah, I did question, like, what's the significance of this? Why are we drawing so much attention? We're slowing it down. Like, pay attention to this. Like you said,
right.
Cat wagging tail. I'm like,
but there's no payoff for it. Yeah, I mean, if there was a payoff, that's a different story. Oh, yeah, great. But another one, man, this film really took a big leap that you have vast knowledge of the Gilmore Girls in one particular scene.
Right.
I've never seen the show. I'm familiar with it, but I mean, it's a passing familiarity. But I mean, it really hinges on like this whole, story of, I'm like, I don't know enough about the Gilmore. Why do I care?
It was almost like an inside joke to the cast or the director or somebody that every main character had this intimate knowledge that was their favorite show. They all knew the characters, the backstories, and everything. I'm like, what is happening here?
Yeah, I mean, it was just an odd choice to make. I don't know if I would have gone that way, but apparently, then I thought, well, maybe somebody has a connection. Maybe the director. No, it's like it just seems oddly out of place.
Or maybe there's a following of that show that's far bigger than I ever possibly imagined, and I'm just not in on it. I
mean, I think there is a decent following of it, but I just, again, I don't. It wasn't my type. It wasn't something I'd watch. Again, I'm very selective with what I watch TV wise too, because that really takes a chunk of your time. But yeah, again, this wasn't it. I don't know if it's good or bad. I just didn't care. And my last thing, which is the unnecessary sequel alert at the very end. Do I really want it? Because there's a possibility, and do I really want to see a sequel to this? I do not.
That left a really bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
The way that ended. I'm like, this was a pretty good movie, and then you screwed it up in the last 2 minutes with this bullshit.
Yep. Yeah, because you have kind of in a way, a heartfelt ending.
Right.
And a well-deserved ending, and now you may cheat on it. And again, it's like, it's almost like, well, it's out of the blue.
Right.
Because there was, hey, there's one time machine. Well, maybe there's something else that, come on. I think they're vastly overrating. Again, they're overreaching on the fact that we want see another. I mean, what would it be called? Would it be called Mike and Nick and Alice? I mean, I don't know. Because you already have a long title as it is, which is people aren't going to remember that.
Yeah.
What do you call it for short? You can't call it Mike for short. I mean, have you seen Mike? Who's Mike? Yeah, that's leading a conversation down other roads that I, really don't think. But I don't know. Is there anything else you thought about that you want to touch on?
Well, the way that ended would bunk. The only movie that actually had a worse ending, in my opinion, like, come on, was White Placid. Great movie, very underrated movie. And then at the very end, they finally killed a huge rogue alligator. And then suddenly out of the water comes a second one. Immediately they blow it up and boom. You spend the entire movie worrying about this one alligator, and there's a second one, and you killed it in 10 seconds.
But did they have the means? Did they not have the means before? Is that, I mean,
I was like,
but still, you're right.
Just cheapen this movie so badly.
Yeah.
So that's what this kind of felt like. It was just hook at the end of a sequel.
Right.
With no explanation for, like, oh, there's a second machine. Why is there a second one? And why did she know about it? Like, oh, yeah, I should have told you. Like,
right. Yeah. Well, yeah, if you would have told at the beginning, there wouldn't be this movie. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah, that's laziness on the part of writing. And that's what I can't stand. Like, one of my friends that I started seeing movies with when I lived in Cleveland, he said, I never thought as much about writing and plot and everything until I met you, because you started pointing stuff out, not in a bad way. Sometimes it's like, oh, this is cool because this happened, or this, this led to this. But if it makes no sense, what's the point in keeping it in? It's just, we'll just have an action movie. Okay, well, you want to be successful,
right?
If you are going to push the sci-fi aspect of it, which again, this is highly based on science fiction in a way, because it all hinges on that. You're actually throwing it in. Yeah, it reminds me almost of, and this was done successfully, Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You, where it was the time travel aspect was done very well, and it was entertaining and it seemed realistic. Whereas this one just is a gimmick, and it's a gimmick in the first one, but it meant something. So it had repercussions. This one, we'll just fix it maybe again in a sequel. Like I said, you can watch it if there's nothing else to do. But
I mean, for me, I love Marston Don't Comedy. I thought he was the gem of the movie.
Right. Absolutely.
not to say Vince Vaughn mailed it in, because he still does his patented rapid fire dialogue,
Right.
And he's good. And plus, he and Ben Affleck are the two people follicle journey you want to watch in Hollywood. Like, what's his hair looking like in this movie now?
Right.
And Gonzalez,
The follicle journey.
I would watch her read an instruction manual in prison. She's just stunning.
She's great. Yeah.
And I haven't seen her be bad in any movie yet. So the three of them together, there was chemistry there. I enjoyed them. And as you mentioned, Keith David, Stephen Root, like great ancillary characters as well.
I mean, yeah, just a great kid. Like they assembled it. The pieces were there. It's just the sum that didn't really work, overall. Yeah, like I said, it's, I've seen worse misfires. That at least this had a lot of positives going for it. Like rewatchability. Is it something you would rewatch if it came on TV? Just if it just came on?
Yeah. I might, but I probably would feel that the pull during a slow scene. Like, is there anything else on?
Yeah.
One of those things.
Right. Yeah. Like there are movies that you just suck you in.
Yes.
Like, we just saw on TV. Sneakers was on. That will suck me in.
Yep.
But this gets a really low rewatchability. Like I wouldn't go seek it out again.
Right.
And again, it will probably come on at some point. I don't care. I would skip over it.
There are far worse ways to spend 2 hours.
There are. Yeah. So,
which is not a glowing
recommendation. But yeah. Right.
But
yeah. So
I would say, gun to my head, I would recommend watching it because I think it's worth seeing at least once.
Right. Yeah. As long as if you have Hulu, watch it. Like I said, it's a good. If you don't care really about paying attention too much, because you don't really have to. You don't have to think too much about the movie. It's kind of a shoot 'em up, and it's got. They try and jam everything into it, and like I said, it works on some level. But it's not. Yeah, I've seen better films.
Right.
So,
agreed.
But I've seen a lot worse too.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. Well, is there anything else you want to talk about this movie anyway?
Yeah. No, I certainly appreciate the opportunity to be here, Sean. And
I want you back because we talk about movies all the time.
Happy to come back. Yeah.
And at some point, we're going to do maybe some special things like, there will be bonus material. Maybe start like a little. We were talking about drunken movies.
Oh,
so where we start imbibing while we start watching a movie, and the movie won't be playing. We'll be watching, but we'll just be commenting on it as we do it. So those will be obviously a little bit longer. We're not going to pick, a 3-hour movie. Yeah, we are going to pick, some things that are smaller. So, all right. Well, thank you again, everyone, for your time. Thank you, Jason, for being here.
My pleasure.
And we'll have you on again soon.
Thank you.
That's all I have for today. So as always, thank you for listening. If you liked it, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you're the first to know when new episodes become available on your favorite podcast platform. For Scenes from the Screen, I'm Sean. And until next time, don't let your screen go dark.